And good afternoon out there, everyone. Welcome to Indian Time here on MuscogeeMedia.com. I am Jason Salzman along with Jessica McBride, welcoming you into our daily stream here as we get ready for the rest of the week. And we're sort of hitting that now start to go on the downhill slope. Wednesday afternoon is when we all kind of get like the weekend is in sight, you know what I mean? So it's a good feeling and really a lot of things happening around here and that we can get to. Jessica, how's the week been going so far for you?
Oh, it's still busy. You know, we've got a lot of things that are still ongoing that we're still trying to get updates out on, though nothing really new today. We're still taking questions, ideas from citizens. So feel free to contact us. Go to MuscogeeMedia.com and you'll be able to find our contact information.
Yeah, MuscogeeMedia.com. You really need to make that a destination for you every single day. Put it on your list of all your news sites that you check every morning. If you're like me, a news guy, you're going to all of them right off the bat, MSN, CNN, you know, not to endorse any of them over the others, but I just need to know what's happening in the world and what's happening in Oklahoma. So I go to the big papers, of course, the Muscogee Nation News as well. But MuscogeeMedia.com needs to be on there too, so you know everything that's going on in and around the Muscogee Creek Nation. We're going to have you hooked up with all the information, not only what's happening in a headline, so to speak, but really the behind-the-scenes stuff too. We're going to have fun little interactive stuff through our social media sites, our Instagram, our Twitter, all of that, and also with our segments, our Indian Time, our tables, our special reports. You know, we need to do a weekly report.
We haven't done
one
a
of these
weekly
days
report in a long time.
People want to see that weekly report. You hear that dun, 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 something's coming up. You know, Jason's got something crazy to tell everyone.
News.
Yeah, right now.
We should mention if you're an employee of the Creek Nation and you want to watch Indian Time, you can't get it. Contact IT. Because you should be able to get it.
Yeah, if you're out there and you're an employee, and we were hearing that we were blocked. MuscogeeMedia.com was blocked for our citizens. You know, we want to be able to be accessible, you know, across the employee base. And I really, I don't think that you're wasting time or like watching something that's not related to work. If you're watching us, it's sort of plugged into the tribe. All things happening.
Stories may have to do with their job.
Absolutely, a lot of the times. And when we started Indian Time, you know, we said let's have a real time experience. Let's bring people in that maybe don't have that experience, which when I mean by real-time experience, I mean we may get an email come through from the chief's office that has major implications on the tribe on a Wednesday afternoon. And it changes the whole scope of our week, sometimes our month, and many times the whole year. And so you look at that experience, and if we can give that to our citizens where we're sitting here and we get something in, hey, hot off the press, we have a new acting director of Lighthorse or new acting director at Education and Training. This just came through here. You're finding out about it when we do and when the chief decides to release it. So never before has this happened. You know, on-demand information right in the palm of citizens' hands. It's a great thing that we can provide. It's a great resource. And, you know, when 3:30 comes every day, you know, sometimes we're like, I got stuff to do, you know, I come in here, but you know, it's a great thing that we're being able to provide, and I think a lot of people are responding. I've heard great feedback anyway from people out there that say we like Indian Time. It's a little bit unscripted. It's not, you know, and so we kind of, you know, just kind of flow and talk about things and break down issues, stories, sometimes even outside of the tribe. So that's nice too, to be able to see national issues. Just to get back on yesterday real quick, and then we'll get going with what we had today. But I thought it was interesting that we were able to cover not just one, but like 3 committee meetings from the council that happened yesterday. So that was pretty neat.
It was. I thought it was really good coverage too, and we want citizens to be aware of what's happening in the government, of course.
Yeah.
And so this is pieces of legislation coming down the pipeline that could pass here at the end of the month.
Important too to note and remember that from those committee meetings, you can go to the National Council website, listen to these committee meetings. I mean, some of these are interesting. There's some things said in these committee meetings sometimes that will just, you know, I listen to a committee meeting and the range of reaction can go from what to that's really happening to did he just say that to how did he get there? You know what I mean?
And the full pieces of legislation are available on their website too, so you can read exactly what the council is reading before it's passed.
And you can listen to the councilman from their, you know, speak from themselves about, they may be grilling somebody or talking about a program, a job that someone's doing, and their concerns or the reason that they will vote yes, no, are coming out of their mouth. So you can hear it right there, and that's a great asset, too, for the tribe to be able to provide that. And like I said, the mics work really great. We just learned right before we came on here to Indian time today, something we would never thought would see happen. One of our videos on YouTube actually passing in popularity, or the amount of minutes it's watched, past the Philip Deere speech from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Which that was like the Great White Buffalo, right? I mean, it was like nobody will ever, pass that speech, or like they'll never get into anything more than that video that we had up. But the audio from the health board meeting with the council has passed that. So people are like, even though the board, all the health board aren't under the microphone, you can still hear them, and that's valuable audio. That right there tells I think that meeting told the whole story, because you have the health board executives going, we didn't know a thing about all this, which to me, that right there is the stories that nobody knew. So, I mean, you look at it and people watch it and they go, okay, we make our own opinions and we go from there. So that's valuable, and we'll continue to have that kind of stuff here, and want to drive you to the YouTube channel as well, because our online channel holds it all. MuscogeeMedia.com, YouTube, Native News Today, Muscogee Nation News Online. Those are the three things that you're just going to have to be hooked up with to get all of this. So, coming out of today, the big news today was had to deal with our royalty, specifically our junior miss. She has resigned. Miss Madeline Gouge has resigned, decided to step down, and she was almost done with her reign anyway. So it's getting to the end of it. They won't have a lot of, there'll be a big event coming up, of course, the festival, but there won't be several months to kind of figure out what to do here.
I think the new pageant is upcoming here in May, so there's about a month or so left.
And with her resignation, of course, for us comes, journalism, comes into place, and we ask what the questions for the citizens, mainly having to do with, since it is a scholarship pageant, what's going to happen with that. We reached out, really didn't get anything other than just that she's resigning from the Public Relations Department. But we did hear, and through the Public Relations Department, from Nancy Mason, who is the Director of Youth Services, but also has a hand in the pageant committee. And Nancy said that according to the contract with the junior miss, it's just prize money. So it's not a scholarship for her. They're still in high school. So it's just prize money. It's paid in increments. And from when they were notified by Madeline, Miss Gouch, the former junior miss, when she was giving up the title, since they were notified, those payments hadn't been processed yet. So those will be stopped. But then the only thing it calls for is her to return the silver crown, which she's done. But Nancy did say they will look in. They are looking into the policies and procedures of that contract, such as when things arise where the junior miss wants to resign or needs to give up her title or whatever, that they'll be able to amend that for future instances when this comes up. So we wish Madeline well in all her future endeavors and everything that she does. She's done a great job as junior miss to this point, and we just wish her well, as I said. But the show must go on, and they'll have another pageant here in a couple of months, and we'll have another junior miss. We'll have another Miss Muscogee Creek Nation. So really, I think that really the big news from that today was Junior Miss Muscogee Nation resigns, giving up her title. So I think a lot of people probably saw the email too and kept up with that news. So it was sort of on us to really put something out today. Yeah.
And I just wanted to check my email real quick to see if we had any updates before we announce our surprise that we have on the show today.
Too, we were speaking about the topics that we touched on yesterday, and we've contacted PR to get statements about some of the comments that Alvin Buttrot made and some other things that came up in those meetings that we mentioned, and we're just waiting to hear back, and when we get those, we'll bring those to the screen.
We're also working with public relations on the ongoing health story. I have contacted PR for the last round of interviews, and so as soon as we've got something there, we'll relay it to our citizens.
All right. Yeah, and there's a lot to talk about there because you got Dr. Varg gone. I mean, not gone, but out of the acting head Secretary of Health. In comes Shawneen Alexander Ross, at least to our citizens, who is she? What's her background? What she stand for? What's her plans with health? Things like that. Those are all things we're going to have to get her before a camera or something like that, and to out to the citizens. You know what I mean? Right now, you could say at Muscogee Creek Nation, the Division of Health, as if it's not all other times anyway, but it's the number one priority for sure, because we have to get fill up the leaks in the dam, so to speak.
Well, and they have a majority of the nation's funding too,
right?
And that's not just grant or federal funding. That's also the nation's provided funding for that department. And I think it's also important to note that they don't have a confirmed secretary as of yet. Currently, Shonine Alexander Ross is acting secretary, and we haven't seen any legislation where Chief Floyd has presented anyone for that nomination yet.
Who's the next up for confirmation? Do we know yet?
Well, 2 of them went before the Hugh Committee yesterday,
That's right.
And that was Alvin Bucktrot for housing and Greg Anderson for education and training. Yeah. So those will be reviewed by the full council here at the end of the month.
Wonderful. All right, well, we'll keep you up to date on that too, and those are always fun, right, Chris? Those confirmation hearings, those are a lot of fun. Yeah, Chris.
Speaking of cabinet appointees.
Yeah, cabinet appointees.
Confirmed, do you want to bring Chris in?
Yeah, let's bring on Chris. Actually, Jessica, get out of here. Go. Scat. Bring Chris in here. No, I'm just kidding. As if you didn't get enough of him on last week's episode of Native News Today, seriously. Mr. Chris Asbell, he is the Secretary of the Interior here at the Muscogee Creek Nation. Chris, you've been confirmed. No more waiting around for the confirmation, so you've already been through all of that.
Right.
But before you came in as Secretary of Health, I know that you guys really took,
Interior Affairs, not Secretary.
Interior Affairs. Sorry, guys. See,
that was a typo.
Two paper people over here, like watching my every single move. Yeah. No, but before you came in, working over at Culture Center and Archives Department, you guys took on a lot of projects that obviously meaningful to you all as a department, but a lot of them very meaningful to this nation as far as what we're dealing with, and as from putting on the Adala Festival to maintaining our council house and everything like that. But one of the things that happened before he died, may he rest in peace, Mr. Mike Berryhill, one of his ideas was a canoe project. And you guys really took the reins with this. And before we had talked to you was the initial stages of it. Now they're coming back, and it's actually, Canoe Week here at Creek Nation. They've got over there at the Omniplex finishing it up. What's it like for you to see it kind of finishing up and going from where we started to where we're at now?
Yeah, it's really amazing. I think they finished the canoe that they produced out of the same tree for Horseshoe Bend last week. They came, or a few weeks ago, they came here with all the guys from Alabama over there, all the bow shooters, all the people that really loved and looked up to Mike Berryhill. Mm-hmm. They're all over there. Judge Moore and Mike Berryhill were really good friends. Mm-hmm. Judge Moore came over earlier, and it was Judge Moore and Mike Berryhill's idea. Mm-hmm. And to see that come to fruition is truly amazing.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anybody that has their opportunity during the day or this week to go out there and see it, because this dugout canoe is a long time coming. Probably 15 years probably. So.
Well, you see all the citizens, like you said, out there gathering around. It means something to them to see not only – it looks like from A to Z, every single thing on this project has been done right. From the location of where the log was brought from. Who knows how old that log is? It could have been there when our ancestors were there in that area.
They estimate over 200 years.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just insane that to think that there's such history. And I had talked to Woodco Long. He's been out there.
Yeah, Woodco's out there earlier today.
He's been out there throughout all of it. You see him in all of our B-roll that we have, but. He echoed the same type of things. Is the connection, that tree, and the whole circle, everything. And so that's what made it important to me. But also, what I thought was so cool is I was talking to John Brown with the Bow Shooter Society. He's taken over for Mike, really picked up the reins, and he's really worked on this log, getting it into a canoe. But I was talking to John, and he was like, we're not going to just put this in a glass case or whatever. He's like, Mike was adamant, this thing goes in the water, this thing floats. So they're actually going to put it out in the water, man.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I had just called James Nichols, our emergency manager. I was trying to get in touch with him earlier because I want to make sure they're on standby in case, just in case the thing doesn't float the first time.
Send the scuba team out.
The Chickasaw Nation actually built one, and they sank it.
Really?
Yeah. So
no.
Of course, we're not the Chickasaws, so we're a lot better than that. So
well, let's just go ahead and
We're pretty sure ours is going to float.
Let's go ahead and debunk the myth. Yeah. They're unconquerable and unconquered, but they're not unsinkable.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, the views of the Secretary of the Interior Affairs do not reflect.
See, that's right.
I'm going to let
you get on with me, and it just goes to heck.
I'm going to let Bill Anatubby know that I'm writing a book. It's unsinkable and unsank.
I think he would like that. I know Governor Anatubby. He's got a good sense of humor. And, he would laugh at that. So we're all good.
And if it wasn't for the Chickasaws, they really inspired us. We went down there and visited.
Yeah, cultural tourism.
We went down and visited their museum, cultural center down in Sulphur, and they actually had an exhibit of canoes, and we met with them, and they treated us great, and saw that and said, we got to make this happen.
Right.
I mean, literally. I mean, it was. We came back and said, Judge Moore and they wanted to make this happen. And we came back. But I do want to mention one thing, and I don't want to belabor the point, but John Brown, when they came back from Alabama a couple weeks ago, they brought back to Oklahoma and to Muscogee a poplar tree, a sapling, and we're going to replant that. And we like to do it on Friday, and we're going to do it on the Mike Berry Hill Cultural Preservation Area that was renamed by the council.
Beautiful.
And replant that, and then use the shavings from the canoe, the poplar tree, because it was a poplar tree, and put around it and put a little bit in the hole, and then watch that thing grow. And over the years, kind of like to give something back. We took a tree that had been growing and giving life for 200 years, and we want to give something back, and
really
replant that tree. So
yeah, and the significance of that. This rebirth and all that on, Mike's place where they named it after him.
Right.
Really cool. Not lost on a guy like me that gets emotional on just about anything,
Sure.
So it's really cool, and it brings the story full circle. I know Mike's smiling now.
Yeah, and speaking of Mike, this is Providence probably. Today, I received a call today about someone wanting to purchase the bow making documentary.
Yeah.
Sure.
I sent them your way because when we
I got that too. I got one of those too.
The cultural preservation or the archives was going to use that as a fundraiser thing, and you guys took over that section. So in the where are we at on that? Do you guys have a copy? Do I need to give you guys another copy? Or I know we were talking about it before, and we were trying to.
This is behind the scenes stuff you can't buy, folks.
Yeah. So this is that documentary was produced several years ago. Jared Moore did probably the majority of the footage, put together the documentary. What we're looking at is we're gonna make a bunch of copies. I actually had just taken some copies over to John Brown. Yeah. We finally got the fundraising arm for the Muscogee Creek Nation. It's a 501c3 that will be. We took over the CIMA. Which was the old Creek Council House Museum Association. Yeah. Right. We're going to bring the name back to the old CIMA, Creek Indian Memorial Association. Right. And then it won't be just for the Council House. It'll be for all of our historic properties. Right. Whether or not you consider the Country Club historic property, the Neocca Mission, the Sharps Building, the Council House,
Does
historic.
That tie into the bridge project?
The Neocca Bridge project. I mean, it's coming along.
Would this be something similar, Chris, to what we've seen in, Tulsa, the National Indian Monument Institute, something like that? Kind of.
Yeah, it could be
501c3 type of thing.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because we have a fundraising arm for our postgrad program that's specific to education, and we wanted to bring something that was actually specific to culture. Right. And we wanted to be a 501c3 because a lot of people out there will not donate unless it's a 501c3.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Kaiser Foundation or the Vierson Foundation, there's lots of big oil foundations, energy foundations out there that will only donate to an organization if it's a 501c3. So we want to have that diversity, obviously with the government side here at Cree Nation, and then also on the 501c3 side. Yeah. And
well, that's why we like to have
some good momentum. We got some good momentum going on.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, this is great information, and it's why we have Indian Time, and why we ask people like Chris to come on. This is stuff that you're hearing. We didn't know about this, so Chris letting us know, and we appreciate his coming in and his candor as always, and letting us know about these things. But
sure.
The canoe project, as he said, going to be going on all week long. Friday, started Monday, going till Friday, 8 to 5 every day. Mm-hmm. And as he said, I think you're going to want to, if you knew Mike Berryhill or you were, touched by any of the stuff that he did as far as cultural preservation. bow making, whatever, to him starting the society and the shooters and everything like that. If that touched any of you, be out there on Friday. I mean, what time was the planting of the tree again? Did you know?
Yeah, well, actually,
afternoon or so?
Probably in sometime in the afternoon on Friday. That's kind of something that's kind of we just had some developments on.
Right.
You're talking about breaking news. We just decided, a few
before
hours
you came
ago,
on here, yeah,
pretty much. And
well, we should have some information that we can pass along to him tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll definitely know something by in the morning, kind of the timing on that.
Great.
Tomorrow at 1:00, I think Chief Floyd's going to come out and have a little photo shoot because it is a wonderful PR opportunity for Creek Nation. Amongst the negativity, there are a lot of very positive things going on. And we are making a huge impact on Indian country over here.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is tomorrow night, and real quickly, is Miko is coming to downtown.
Right.
Muscogee at the Orpheum. Mm-hmm. A film by Sterling Harjo. Sterling's going to be there. He's going to have a Q&A. Chief Floyd's going to be there. And I encourage anybody that has a little bit of time tomorrow night to come out. I think the showing's at 6:30.
Yeah. Whatco Long actually in the movie too, and he'll be there as well.
Yeah.
So he's become sort of a pseudo-celebrity. Right?
He really has, and he's a hilarious guy. He's got a great voice, knows all the songs, and
I love to hear him sing, man.
Oh yeah,
he could sing a conversation to me. I'd be good with that. Well, Chris, thanks a lot, man, for coming on and being a part of it and everything like that. Yeah. We appreciate any time you come in and get all the good information to the folks. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You bet. Chris Asbell with us here today, one of the executive officers on the cabinet of the Muscogee Creek Nation right now. Spitting some knowledge. New 501c3, pretty cool. Good information there. Lots of things happening this week with the canoe. And, of course, the Friday deal. How cool is that? It's really neat. So, have you been out to see the canoe yet?
I haven't. I'll have to go out today or tomorrow. Or I've got to find time between trying to cover the health story and going to see the canoe.
Yep, we got another one of those, I've only got time to do what's right in front of me right here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another one of those. I tell you what, you got to be multifaceted. Don't come up here. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Jessica. I got off base there. Let me get back on track.
What else do we have, guys?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing,
well,
Jared.
If we're all dry, let's go ahead.
We are.
And we'll
wrap her up.
And then as soon as we get any statement on what we covered yesterday?
Yes.
We'll put it on the live stream, and everybody can see. So.
We'll get more statements from you. We've got a great episode of Native News Today coming up this weekend. I want to remind you guys to watch that Saturdays at 1 p.m. on the CW. And we got a new edition of the paper coming out, I think, pretty soon.
Yeah, going to get,
Yeah, and we have a very important table coming up pretty soon that you're going to want to hear about, concerning some budgetary issues and moves that we've made here at Muscogee Creek Nation. Still pending board approval, but we feel good about the things that we've done. Should be able to keep the show on air. Should be able to keep the radio show on air. Probably going down to one issue a month of the paper. But you got to do what you got to do. So that was our biggest costs, our printing and postage of the paper. Made the most sense. So that's one of those things that you just got to do what you got to do in times like this. So we've made some of the
one update.
Hit me.
So earlier we were discussing that our Muscogee Media website was blocked for employees. We actually heard back from IT, and this is not true. What is blocked is because we use YouTube and funnel YouTube through our website.
Okay.
They can't watch any type of videos or any YouTube unless they have the approval to do so.
Okay.
Through the executive office.
That's probably what happened, because the gentleman that told me that he wasn't allowed to watch was trying to watch an episode. I think was trying to watch an episode that he had missed on TV. Of the TV show. That would take him to YouTube, and that would probably block him.
And even through our website, any video type activity is blocked.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. No video then.
But that doesn't mean you can't watch us. Go home.
Yeah.
And watch us at home when you get home, or in the morning when you're getting ready. Pop it on your phone and you can hear us.
Or just
and
watch
find
us.
out the update.
Just watch us on your phone at work. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Well, and that's
but not really.
You know,
just watch us on your phone at work.
If you're a citizen and you work at the Creek Nation and you want to get the latest stuff that we put on the video and you want to get the live stream, you know, like contact your supervisor. If you are the supervisor, contact chief's office, because that's changeable. You know, like that it's not a permanent thing. And
no, we go with the citizens. I mean, you know.
So if you want it changed, you know, like your voice is going to carry more weight with the executive branch than ours, and we can just publish what we publish.
Yeah, guys. I mean, if we go and say, hey, people want to see this or whatever, they're going to say, no, you guys just think people want to see y'all.
Well, and maybe there's something that we
like,
can work out where it opens up so that, you know, from 3:30 to 4:30, since we're doing Indian time at that time.
Yeah.
And so you can watch it at that time, and then if you miss it, then you have to watch it at home.
Well, technically, because it's Indian time, it's like 3:34 to 3:36 to 4:30. You know?
You just want to give them a step-by-step on how to get to the archived ones?
Sure. Archived papers?
Well, the archived Indian times, you said.
Oh, yeah.
After we're done.
Yeah.
It's just on our YouTube channel. If they go to our YouTube channel, they'll see it. It's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's on the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm.
So, if you go
and
to YouTube,
you know, if you go to YouTube and you're just like, hey, putting in a search or whatever, if you put in like native news, we're like the first one that pops. So all you got to put in is like native news, and
or
then
Muscogee
like right
Media.
there, Muscogee
Either
Media.
one.
Yeah.
Conversely, too, if you go to MuscogeeMedia.com, what my normal procedure from that I'm still working out the timetable on is once the video is done, once we're done streaming, the video starts to be converted into a regular video.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that's done, I go back and check it to make sure everything's okay with it. And then I switch the embed on the Indian Times post on our webpage so that if you go to that post later in the evening, you can watch the YouTube video of the live stream in that same post. So that post keeps coming and people can go in. So even if it's not 3:30, if you want to go at 5:30, 6:30, whenever, you can still watch the YouTube video as long as that post has been refreshed. So that's one of the things I've been doing behind the scenes.
Well, you heard it right there, folks. All right. Well, that's all for us today. Jessica, thanks for being with me for here on Indian Time. MuscogeeMedia.com. Keep it right here. Keep it on all of our social media outlets, on our YouTube channel. As we said, for all things Muscogee, we're on top of it. We're bringing it to you real time, real accurate. So everybody out there, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been Indian Time on MuscogeeMedia.com.